Hello! I'm back with more catalog fun. This is Susan Smith with StampCreatively, and I'm gonna mix and mask. This was one that I wasn't too sure about. Again, you know, we all have our favorites when the catalog comes out. But two of the people I went with in November to onstage in Vegas, or backstage, I used this and they did such a pretty job, they made me buy it, made me want to buy it. So I ordered it. It's different than what we normally do. So it has a stamp set, a set of dies, and 5 masks. I'm going to use 4 of the 5 masks, and I'm going to show you the card I created. It was in my head, and then, you know, we have to go from our head to figure out how we're going to do it. So I kind of made myself a little bit crazy earlier today trying to get it just right. You know how you try 100 different things to make it work? Well, that's what I was doing. I was making myself crazy. But I like it enough that I'm hoping it'll be a camp card. So if you live close to me and you want to make this card, come join us in February. And you can make it. Look, I've got my shirt on. I love this. Okay, I'm going to switch back. Cheers. I need a drink of tea, and then I'm going to go back to what I'm doing here, and then you won't have to look at me anymore, because showing this part is about the death of me. But I do it because someone told me I should. It was a bad idea. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's do this. So, Enduring Beauty, stamp set, dies, and then I paired it with Softly Sophisticated, which is Sale-a-bration, because I thought this matched and I needed these words, and then this is the embossing folder. So these pair together with a $100 purchase. So I'm going to show you all of this today. Oh, and then here's what we're creating. I've made 2 so far. Don't you love it? I love it. I love stamping on craft paper. I used white ink, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay. So first, I put my stamp set on my biggest block. These are the stencils, and the stencils go this way. No, this way. So I want to stamp it this way. It made it easier for me. And I know which way the stencil goes because there's a notch in the corner. So the first time I stamped it where it made it like I was constantly flipping stuff around. So I'm going to start with soft sea foam. And I'm going to stamp it on my crumb cake cardstock. And I'm going to stamp it on this big of a piece of paper because it made it easier for me to hold my dies if I could get a hold of the paper. You really only need a quarter sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to stamp that on there. Okay, and you can see how light it is. I'm going to take a blend brush with my white craft, and I'm going to kind of squish that off, and I'm going to go over with the white craft where the flowers are. And I, again, tried a bunch of different ways to get this color on here the way I wanted. I'll move these out of the way. And this was the best way I could figure out. So there it is on there. I tried heat setting it, and I did it different ways. I can heat set it, and it dries it, which is totally fine, or I felt like I didn't have to. So now I'm going to use my Memento ink. I'm going to ink this real good. And I'm going to put it right back on top of that flower. I've already turned it around. And I'm going to line this up right on top of it. I'm going to scooch it this way because I'm back here a little bit further. Oops, you saw my finger. That was a big finger. Just to make sure I can line it up. And if it's not perfect, it doesn't really matter. Okay, now with this glass mat, this is what I did earlier to make sure I got it as dark as what I wanted it. Oh yeah. It's not lined up perfectly, but I'll show you when I start working on this, that's not going to matter. I got the white on top of the flowers, but you can see I'm off just a little bit, like right here. That's not going to matter. So now I'm going to emboss it in crystal clear. You can emboss with any of our inks as long as you get it in there pretty quickly. Like the soft sea foam, it probably won't stick to that, but it'll stick to the black and the white craft, because white craft takes forever to dry. Okay, so I've got that. My crystal clear's all on there. Now I'm going to emboss. Okay, I didn't want you to have to listen to my heat gun. So there I am. You can still see those soft sea foam lines a little bit, but I'm going to cover those up and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. So the dies are numbered and there's a notch. This one says 1. This one's 2. So we'll put those on the way Stamp It Up tells me to. Dang it, do I have this upside down? Oh no, I just got to twist it a little bit. No, I did it upside down. Dang it. I tried. I just want to make sure my notch is on the left-hand side, which it was until I turned it upside down. So I'm going to start with the bubble bath, and I do better if I leave my blend brush in there if the ink's open, or I mix my colors. So can you see? Let's see if I can zoom in. If I start zooming in, then I have to move stuff around. So give me 1 second. There we go. Let's see if you can see this a little bit better. So I'm using my bubble bath right over the top to shade in all of those areas that aren't white. And to change the color of my crumb cake. Now you ready for the magic? Ta-da! Now we're going to do the leaves. And it's the same thing. I'm going to have to twist this all the way around. Oh, I could just move this. Look at me, how smart I am. And then I'll keep that up in the left-hand corner. And this is my soft sea foam, the one I stamped those lines in. So as I do this, a lot of those lines are going to go away. I just need to know if you talk to the TV. If you go, I can't see it anymore, to try to help me move that up. I appreciate it if you are. So now there's that. So see, that took away a lot of those little lines that were in there. You can still see a little bit out here, but when I cut it all apart, you're not going to be able to see it at all. So this one says 3. And so this is going to line up with those flowers. Did I turn it over again? Please tell me you're telling me how to do it. Because, you know, if this was a Facebook Live, you could actually talk to me a little bit if I could see the comments. I didn't open my ink. I do an online fan club, and I'm trying desperately to get it to be a Facebook Live, but I can't seem to make it happen. Okay, so I've lined that up. Flirty Flamingo. And the colors look so different on the crumb cake paper, but I like it. And I'm just using a circular motion. I'm not pushing hard. Oh, Tell me you're impressed. Well, you can't tell me, but pretend to be impressed. Okay. Now I'm going to go over Old Olive. Again, there's 5 stencils. I'm only using 4. The one I'm not using is the flower centers. I just didn't feel like I needed the flower centers. I liked my black flowers the way they were. And this is Old Olive. Again, I'm not pushing hard. This one I want to make sure it's a little bit darker. So I'm re-hitting the ink more than I did on some of the other things. Gosh, friends, isn't that pretty? So I have the veins in my leaves. I have 3 different colors on my flowers. I've got that little bit of white. I'm doing a bridal shower this weekend, and the bride loves white flowers. And that got me thinking, oh, how can I get a white flower for this? Okay, so now I'm going to go cut this out with the Boss and this die that makes it really easy, because this is going to go around there perfectly, and cut that out for me. And while I do that, I'm going to cut a tag for the words. All right, I'll be right back. I was super fast, wasn't I? Okay, so I've cut out my flower, cut out my tag. Put those back in there so they don't get lost on my desk. Do you guys ever lose things? I mean, you're just sure they were on your desk a second ago and now somebody's taken them. I have gremlins, I'm sure. So now I'm going to show you how I assembled the card. So I've got this. I wasn't a huge fan of the edges. So this one I went around in soft seafoam. This one I ran around in the craft white. So this one I'm going to go around in the flamingo. So we have all different kinds that we can see. Because I just didn't like the plain crumb cake edge. I wanted a little bit of color on my edge. I could have, oh, let's try the Old Olive. Maybe I'll like that better. I'm not loving, oh yeah, I like the Old Olive better. I wasn't loving the flamingo. So if you can see this, this is the Glass Mat Studio. If you join my team and become a demonstrator, you can get this as part of your starter kit. It's fantastic. I mean, I stamped this big stamp in photopolymer and didn't have to add the foam mat to it. So I've gone around that with a little bit of Old Olive. It's a little bit more distinct now for me. I have taken my crumb cake and folded in half. I'm going to finish stamping. Let me finish stamping so I can clean up my mess before I get myself in some ink, which is what I have a tendency to do. Here's my little tag. So I liked the words in this stamp set. It's always been you, love endures all things, you mean so much to me, to many, holding you close in my heart, and embrace the beauty of you, enduring beauty. Okay, those are great words, not what I wanted. So this stamp set, the Softly Sophisticated, is in the Sale-a-bration catalog. These flowers I thought looked a lot like mine, and I wanted the You're in Your Thoughts or Hello There. They both fit on this little tag that comes with this. So I'm going to use the Hello There. And I'm going to use my Memento. Hello there. Sometimes you just need to send that card. I might have 2 friends I emailed today, just checking in on them. Haven't heard from them in a while. Make sure they're good. So this is the Old Olive, and here's the leaves. And I'm going to turn them like this. And I may put a couple leaves over here. I felt like those looked like the leaves on my flower. And then it has this flower that fits in there. The first time I stamped it, it was a little dark, so I'm going to stamp that Flirty Flamingo off. So it's just a little bit lighter. The bubble bath didn't show up because I tried it. This looks better. So now I have those, and I'm going to close these stamp pads so I don't stick my hand or the project in them, which is what I have a tendency to do. Hopefully you guys aren't as messy as I am. It's never my intention to be a messy stamper, but... Okay, now let's do some assembly required. So I ran a piece of crumb cake through the Softly Sophisticated. And I'm going to seal it around my card. I've found when I am embossing a piece of cardstock that I go all the way around. Like sometimes I'll only do the ends, but I just think it lays down a little bit better. Let's get your card going the right direction. If I do that, I go all the way around it. So these don't show up very much. On this one, I used some white craft so you could see them a little bit better. On this one, I used a little soft seafoam so they would stand out a little better. On this one, we want to use some color. Oh, the other thing, we have Memories and More cards and envelopes. I thought about putting this on there. How pretty is that? Maybe that's what I'll do at camp. I don't know. I make myself crazy because I have so much I want to show. Okay, so let's go over it. This is the soft seafoam. That's not really showing up. Let's do a little Old Olive. I just won't push that hard, and that way it'll be a little bit lighter Old Olive. So can you see how those show up a little bit better with the Old Olive on them? Like it's not done here at all, and these are just a little bit darker. Let's make them a little bit darker so you can see it a little bit better. Again, I didn't re-ink this. This just comes off of what I had done earlier. Oh, there, now you can see it. So I've added some pretty Old Olive to that. Okay. Now we're going to use some dimensionals. I'm going to attach this. I found when I used the white craft to go on here, it's white craft, so it didn't want to dry. So I'm wanting to stick all this stuff on, and it's not wanting me to do that because it's white craft, and it was being moody and didn't want to dry. Nope, I like it better this way. So I'm going to put that over in the corner like that, because I want to put my words down here. I'm just going to seal these on. Stay. That's what I say to my dog. Stay. Slide this under the end of this. Put that down at the bottom. I feel like this stands out just a little more because of that textured background. Come on. There we go. Okay, so then I wanted to add, I like this gingham ribbon. It's our black and white. We have a black and vanilla and a black and white. One of my adorable grandchildren used my blend over the holidays. And I'm going to change this and add some Flirty Flamingo to it. One of the things I love about this Glass Mat Studio is all of my shenanigans wipe off really easily. This is the little chamois. And so when I'm all done, all I do, and all the adhesive, everything comes right off. It's fantastic. I hope you have it. If you don't, join a Stampin' Up! Team. If you don't do mine, find somebody who's good. and join the team. I've been doing this for 25 years, and this makes me crazy still after 25 years. And I still love it. My husband and I talk, how much longer do I want to do this? Do I like having people in my home? I'm like, yep, I do. I like it. So I'm going to take this, and I just looped that around a couple of times. Now I'm going to tie a knot. For those of you who are bow challenged, I probably just gave you the heebies. I apologize. I like bows and like to tie them. So now I have my bow. I'm going to put a glue dot on it. And sometimes I put a glue dot on one side, sometimes I put a glue dot on both sides. Let's stick this on here. I'm going to stick it up here under there. That's beautiful. And then I'm going to take it, and I'm just going to loop this over. And like, for those of you who always have questions and say, how long was that ribbon? It came out of the scrap bucket, so I don't know. You know, when I have a camp or an event and I end up with these pieces, they go in a little bucket, and then when I need some and I know I want a shorty piece, I grab it out of there instead of cutting it off the bolt. So that was my shorty piece. So I'm going to tie that in a knot, and then I'm going to make a bow on top, because I can. Then I'm going to do that glue dot thing again. And stick it right under there. Beautiful. But I'm not done yet, because I am a less is more person. Like, if you follow me and you watch my stuff, I do a simple fold and I don't do a ton. This is like overkill for me. Like, my friends will laugh because I put so much on one card. These are the iridescent pearls, and I like them, especially on this card, because it gives just that little bit of white out here that I wanted. I have my take your pick tool sitting right here. I could use it. But I love these. I mean, we used to have those, you know, we have those basic plain pearls. These have just a little bit of shimmer in them. It's like taking your pearls up a notch, and I like it. Okay. So now I've added some gems. It's just so fun. And I love the way this set, this Softly Sophisticated, coordinated with it and gave me the words that I needed with kind of like a matching flower. So there you go, friends. Let me know what you think. I appreciate your opinion. I really do. One of the things I do after each camp is I always ask them what their favorite card was. And I've been doing this too long to get my feelings hurt. I would rather have you tell me what you like, because I'm curious. And it's always funny what they don't like, because they have a big opinion about that one. But I just love hearing, you know, what they like and why they liked it. And it's always great when they'll say, oh, I didn't think I was going to like that, and I like it so much more than I thought. That's always my favorite comment. Oh, here's some of the things that didn't work. So I tried here. I put the white on. And then added the memento on top of the craft, and the craft was dry. And then when I put the stencil on top, it bled. So it did it on this one too. That's why I went ahead and embossed it. So in case you're wondering what the thought process was with the embossing, it's because it kept smearing. Even though I dried the craft white, it just smeared enough that I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So again, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think, and I hope to stamp with you again soon. All right, friends, have a good one. Bye.